Hello everyone. Today we are at Sleepy Hollow. We're here to talk about our partnership with Sleepy Hollow, new trails, upcoming events, and a whole bunch of stuff. Sleepy Hollow has been a great partner with Fellowship of the Wheel. They're a privately owned ski and bike center. If you are a Fellowship of the Wheel member, you get free access to these trails. A lot of folks that have been here know them as more technical trails, but some really interesting rock features, some beautiful forests. This was all sheep pasture at one point. And it's just a really cool recreation center for us to be able to offer members. Right now, I am in the middle of the woods here at the intersection of Darth Vader, Upper Saddle Ski Trail, Rogue One, and if you look at this sign back here, Endor to Sherman Hollow Road. This is a brand new trail, something that Fellowship of the Wheel is partnering with Sleepy Hollow to build. So Fellowship of the Wheel has done a lot of trail building and assisted with maintenance here. Eli is the general manager for the recreation center and also does a lot of trail work out here as well. So we kind of share some of the trail work responsibilities, and it's a really great working relationship, continuing to sort of add different options for people to ride on some of this really fun and exciting terrain. One goal of Fellowship of the Wheel is to better connect our networks. And that also means to networks around us as well. If you're someone that likes to ride, from Richmond to the Huntington, Heinsberg area and do these longer connected rides, Sleepy Hollow is kind of right in the middle of that corridor. By adding a new trail here, we're actually cutting off a mile of road. So a pretty significant amount, and a trail that can be run both directions, up or down. We had a goal of making this fun to ride in both directions while simultaneously creating this better connected corridor all the way from Cars Hills up to Richmond and beyond. We've got Eric, our trail manager, out on trail right now doing some fine tuning on some of the last bits, getting this ready to really share with you all. So we're going to ride down, we're going to preview some of the sections and talk about how the trail came to be. And then we'll connect with Eric and you'll hear a little bit more about his process for building the trail. All right, we're here at the Rogue One exit, and this is where Endor begins. So let's hop on and start our ride through. This first section was built by Eli Enman. A lot of this was done by machine. Whoop, we got a stick down. We had a storm last night, so do our part and move some twigs. And we get a great view here. This is a really unique section of trail. Eli laid this all out and built this. Definitely ambitious task, but made for a really cool trail. There's little sections of rock that a local youth group came and helped sort of place and shape. We'll just keep heading down. And now we're moving into a section that we flagged with Eli a couple weeks ago. Some nice kind of switchback turns, a little bit of ledge here, and some fun little whoops out onto Lower Saddle Ski Trail again. So this is where the trail is going to continue to go on. We're going to have a flag line here. It'll sort of cross this little ravine and it'll work the grade along the hillside there. So for right now, if you're linking this trail together, this section here is intended to be more of a directional down. So from this area downward, it'll be fully bi-directional. But for right here, if you're climbing up to the trail system, you'll use the Lower Saddle Ski Trail. You can see a little bit of a sign right there that says Endor Climb. The trail that's going to meander through here is not complete yet. It's still in progress. But just a short link on Lower Saddle will get you to the next section of trail. This is just another sort of intersection of note on Lower Saddle. If you want to take this back to the ski area where you may have parked, that's a great way to, once you finish your ride, you can head out on the Lower Saddle Trail. It'll take you right back to the ski lodge. We're going to keep going down. We're going to see if we can find Eric out here. Now we're getting into the hand-built section of trail. There's a couple options here, and there's some bedrock kind of right underneath us. So we're kind of on this ribbon of rock, which is really fun to kind of descend down. So we've got some nice kind of straight lines, and here we are. We've got Eric Winter, our trail manager. I promise this wasn't staged. Here he is working away. Everyone on Fellowship following. Eric Winter, our trail manager. Quick introduction. Does a lot of the day-to-day operations of sprinkling all those little goods out onto the trail, managing bigger projects, and been doing it for a long time. Eric, how long have you been working with FOTW?
This is year 10.
Year 10.
Year 10.
If you weren't at the kickoff party where we announced that, a huge, gratitude and congratulations to Eric for 10 years on these trails. Been through a lot of highs and lows and difficult weather and difficult projects, but a huge influence to these trails for a long time, and a huge asset. For your membership dollars. These membership dollars go towards real careers, allow us to get out into the woods and tackle projects. And Eric really leads that charge right now. Tell us a little bit more about this particular trail, Endor. Where does it start? Where does it go? Why did we build it?
Sure. This will take you about halfway down Sherman Hollow Road. It gets you closer to Richmond Mountain Trail system, less road section instead of going all the way up, potentially to the normal Sleepy Hollow parking lot. That being said, if you're coming from the other side, you can always bust up this trail. It is designed two-way. It'll take you out towards the Rogue One Darth Vader intersection.
If you're just coming to ride Sleepy Hollow, this is a great out and back option. So out and back means people might sort of take this all the way down, and then because it's optimal for climbing as well, you can take it right back up. But if you're doing a connected ride, this may be a one-way trail, either up or down. How did this trail get built? Where it's July 2025? Yeah. When did it start?
Yeah, so this trail started last year with a collection of students from CVU. Came out before they worked with us. We flagged it in the spring. We're always trying to flag in the spring to find those wet sections of the trail, but also take advantage of terrain that looks really good and exciting.
This is a little downhill option. There's a small drop roll right here, and you can see the trail kind of carries on to the right of Eric. So as you're climbing, this is like a really nice switchback as we head up. And yeah, Eric, tell us what we've got going on as we head up here.
Yeah, perfect. So I have a nice open turn that leads into that drop that we just highlighted. Right around this zone, coming across a big switchback for climbing. So it also breaks apart that traffic too. Easier method of we could have come straight through here, through the ferns, had another bigger turn, but trying to find those special moments and opportunities where we can highlight some different drops or different features.
We're trying to make this something that's fun and approachable for folks that like to stay on the ground and folks that like to get off the ground. So right now we're kind of breaking off a corner. There's a little bit of a sort of rock shelf behind Eric here, putting a go around, but also as we continue to shape this, we might be able to just kind of have it run straight. This rock, you can kind of see these flakes in here, so it wants to sort of pull apart. You can actually see this whole thing shaking as he goes after it. This just helps get a nice sort of flat launch pad for whatever you're doing down this. A nice layering of rock as an option line to ride straight through. Drop line here. Another hour or so, this will be all set and ready to ride. good little bit of time doing this rework with Eric. So Eric is leading the charge with all the tools here. We got a nice little rock go around, little rock jump into the corner. Now it's time for testing. We're gonna try the go around to the left first. Coming nice and easy and sweet, nice and smooth. Wonderful little route. Then turn around and show you the climbing route. So for a climbing option, got this nice kind of switchback. Nice and easy. And it's just a steep enough grade change. That's why we wanted the option line for the descent. But as you can see right here, kind of back to that shared use trail, up and down, works great. And now we'll try a little drop line. Yeah. Sorry about the brakes. Cool. Options. Up, down, down. Nice job, Eric.
Nice job.
Thank you for all the work here on trail. It's looking great. We're finally showing your face to the the FOTW community. And yeah, great work out here. This is a super fun trail. We're going to feature this for the upcoming Enduro, and hopefully get lots of folks out here and trying it out. It's something different, something new. Helps with a connection to our other networks and our neighbors, and yeah, looking good. See you later. Cheers. Eric. Have a good afternoon, and we'll hop on for the rest of this trail. You can also roll this line too. So actually 3 options there. You know, I think this trail is kind of a fun mix. There's going to be some berms coming up. There's actually another option here. So this is a rock drop roll option. But there's also a corner with a berm right over there. So again, like better climbing relief if you're coming up, with a fun little downhill option. Can see some really nice stonework into this, and some stones on the backside. So this can be rolled. It's also kind of like a little rock berm if you're coming down from the, you know, this sort of go around route. But this is you know, kind of an intentional, you know, you could maybe jump off this, but it's really meant to be more of a roll. The shape of it is kind of designed to like have you check up, check your speed, and kind of proceed with caution. But yeah, another fun little downhill option. All right, we're gonna roll through the drop option. Nice and easy, good berm out. Another berm here with a lot of speed. Across a stream that runs kind of in the springtime. A little bit of pedaling, and then we've got some rollers. A couple more berms. Big 180 berm. And some nice cruisy bit to the finish of the single track. So from here, we are on Jane Meadows Ski Trail. Endor comes in right here, or exits onto Jane Meadow. If you carry down here, kind of give you one last view. Little section of ski trail. And so here we're in a little solar field. Just on the other side of this solar field, there's another little sign for Endor. Takes you out to the driveway, and you see the power lines out there. That's Sherman Hollow Road. So yeah, just another kind of access point if you're in the Huntington, Heinsberg area. It's a nice, easy way to hop on the trail a lot sooner than going all the way up to the ski hill. But if you're just here lapping Sleepy Hollow, really just a great option to do a bit of an out and back. And then as you finish, you can go right back up the way you came, take Lower Saddle Trail and head out. Yeah, we'll head up, and if you're looking for a little enduro preview, we've got a full run through coming up, so you can see the whole trail through and enjoy. Thanks for coming out and checking out this new trail with us, and come give it a ride. It's a hoot. Doing a little course preview for the upcoming enduro. So this one always starts on Road 1. We're going to run that stage just about the same as we always do. We've got a local community member, Max Morgan, giving us a little preview up front, so you can kind of see what the trail looks like, the bike riding through. So right here we have a easy hard option. There is a sort of easy route going out that direction, hard right, and then there is the rock slab chute here, which you should take some caution going down. And then we get up into this spine section. There's multiple lines off to the left, off to the right. Kind of see some of those different lines. That's one of the major technical sections. Now we got a couple nice berms. Ooh, those are riding good. Coming up to another section that does have some option lines. So there's an option line to the right, or this rock roll straight through. Into a couple more berms. Little chunky turn here. We're going to get a couple more little rocky sections here. Kind of use some caution as we traverse across the side of this pretty steep terrain. But the trail itself has got a nice bench cut, just a little technical into a little rise. All right, getting into some of the last couple turns. Little jump, another little jump, nice easy rock roll. And we're kind of at the final straightaway. We kind of bear left right here, and then the finish will be right in this little clearing. And then new for this year, instead of continuing on that way, this would normally be stage 2. This is stage 1 right now, and we're going to head over to Endor and do stage 2. So kind of cool. This maybe sometime in the future could be 2 stacked stages, but right now we're going to run them as 2 consecutive stages, but kind of 1 climb at the start, 1 big descent with 2 stages, and then 1 climb at the end to finish it off. All right, we're back with Max for stage 2. This is Endor. So this kind of starts with this smooth machine built section, kind of get some pedaling in, and now we start sort of the rock sections. So we got some kind of loose rock work, some nice big turns, Another little rock garden. And then a little sidewinder style up and down. Now we get into a little bit more fall line. The trail starts to point down a little bit. Got a little section of ledge right here. A couple jumps. And then we stay to the right. And we're on the ski trail for a minute here. We keep going right. Good little chance to gain your composure. And we go back into the woods to the right here. This will all get taped off. So we're on another little section that was machine built by Eli here at Sleepy Hollow. This section can be intermittently wet, so it's great to have sort of this nicer trail bed through this section. And now we're starting to come up on where the trail will change to hand-built. So this next section is all hand-built by the Fellowship of the Wheel Trail crew. And we've got kind of some option lines, left and right. Little slab into a right-hander. Now we're gonna get some more meandering turns. This trail is definitely a little bit more like cruisy, not quite as steep. It's brand new, so it's quite smooth. We got some good berms here and there, and a mix of some flat turns like this one here. So nice, like sort of challenging flat turn. Now we're coming up into kind of one of the first drop options, and Max goes off the drop. I'm taking the roll line to the right, or sorry, excuse me, to the left. A couple more flat turns. Good for keeping your outside foot down and carrying speed through these turns. And another drop option here. This one definitely more of a roll. You know, Max went for a little drop, I went for the roll. But it does roll even though there is a drop sign there. Good amount of speed here. We carry across the stream into a little uphill. We got some little rollers, a couple more berms. Take that one outside. A little bit of a rock to hop off. Yeah, caught Max out with a foot. And then you go right into your last straightaway here. You know, put some power to the pedals, finish nice and strong, and up over these rocks, and there's the end. Right here, we'll have everyone sort of stop, stage finish. It's totally different flavor than the first stage. So the first one's steeper, more technical, and then this one pretty flowy, lower angle and cruisy, some good turns. So that's Endor. What do we think, Max?
That was fun.
Yeah. All right, come on out to the Enduro. Hope to see you here. Thank you, Max, community member, for coming out early morning here. And we'll see you next week.